From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, adapted from Shigeru Sagazaki's light novel and streaming on Amazon Prime Video, has carved a niche in the spring 2025 anime season with its refreshing take on the fantasy genre. Centered on Beryl Gardnet, a middle-aged sword instructor thrust into the spotlight as a mentor to elite knights, the series blends humor, action, and heart in the Ball Train arc Episode 5. The Old Country Bumpkin is outraged at villains, aired on May 3, 2025, and focuses on Beryl's encounter with a young pickpocket, Mui Freya, and his moral stand against exploitation. I'm captivated by the episode's earnest exploration of justice, though its execution raises questions about pacing and depth that demand scrutiny. Following Episode 4's intense magical duel with Lucy Diamond, Episode 5 shifts to a quieter, character-driven narrative. Beryl reunites with Mui Freya, a young girl who previously attempted to pickpocket him, and learns she's been coerced into theft by a rogue named Farna. Driven by his sense of justice, Beryl, alongside Alucia and Lucy, confronts Farna's gang, using his swordsmanship to protect Mui. The episode concludes with Mui's tentative trust in Beryl, hinting at her potential as a future protege, while a cryptic mention of Farna's employer raises new intrigue. This installment transitions from magical spectacle to grounded moral conflict, emphasizing Beryl's role as a protector. Episode 5 advances the Ball Train arcade by showcasing Beryl's moral compass, reinforcing his transition from rural instructor to a figure of influence. The confrontation with Farna's gang, while small-scale compared to Episode 4's magical clash, is a turning point, highlighting Beryl's commitment to justice over glory. The revelation that Farna answers to a mysterious employer introduces a broader conspiracy, aligning about a looming antagonist. The episode fulfills its role by deepening Beryl's purpose in the capital and setting up Mui's potential arc, though it resolves little from prior episodes, such as Fissel's magical influence. The pacing feels uneven. The first half's slow build-up, laden with Mui's backstory, contrasts with a rushed skirmish. I think a more balanced tempo could have amplified the stakes, but the plot's moral focus keeps it engaging. Beryl, Mui, Alucia, and Lucy are central, with Beryl's protective instincts driving the narrative. Beryl's decision to shield Mui, despite her initial distrust, reveals a paternal side consistent with his humble, principled nature. His dialogue, like "no child should be forced to steal," resonates with his established character, showing growth as a mentor beyond the dojo. Mui, introduced as a scrappy pickpocket, gains depth through her hardened defiance and eventual vulnerability, particularly when she accepts Beryl's offer of safety. Alucia's supportive role reinforces her loyalty, though her limited screen time feels underwhelming. Lucy's fiery presence adds humor, but lacks the complexity of Episode 4. I really appreciate Beryl and Mui's dynamic, but I wish Alucia and Lucy had more to do, as their sidelining feels like a missed opportunity. The episode explores themes of justice, redemption, and the impact of mentorship. Beryl's stand against Farna's exploitation critiques societal neglect, with Mui's plight symbolizing innocence corrupted by circumstance. The theme of redemption shines through Mui's tentative trust in Beryl, suggesting that guidance can heal wounds, a sentiment echoed. Beryl's refusal to seek fame, focusing instead on protecting the vulnerable, reinforces the series' rejection of typical power fantasies, as Anime News Network noted. These themes are conveyed through Beryl's actions and Mui's arc, though the episode's brevity limits their exploration. I'm moved by the focus on justice, but I personally don't understand why the script didn't delve deeper into Mui's emotional scars to amplify the redemption angle. The episode subtly expands Ball Train's world by depicting its underbelly, with Farna's gang highlighting the capital's social disparities. The mention of Farna's employer hints at a larger power structure, possibly tied to the Liberian Order's politics, enriching the narrative stakes. Mui's street life adds texture to the urban setting, contrasting the knight's polished world. However, I didn't like how the episode skimped on details about Farna's employer, leaving the conspiracy vague, a critique shared by some online reviews. The world feels authentic but underdeveloped, craving more context to ground the new threat. The dialogue is earnest but occasionally cliched. Beryl's resolute lines, like "I won't let you prey on the weak," are impactful, fitting his straightforward heroism, while Mui's defiant retorts, such as "I don't need your pity," carry raw emotion. However, Farna's villainous taunts feel generic, echoing standard anime rogues, a flaw MyAnimeList users noted. The writing excels in quiet moments, like Beryl's gentle coaxing of Mui, but the skirmish's rushed resolution undermines its weight. I think the script captures Beryl's heart, but I didn't like the reliance on predictable villain dialogue, which weakens the climax. Passion and Hayabusa Films' animation is serviceable but underwhelming. The skirmish with Farna's gang features fluid swordplay, with Beryl's precise strikes rendered crisply, but the choreography lacks the flair of Episode 4's magical duel. Director Akio Kazumi's direction emphasizes character over spectacle, with tight shots of Miui's wary expressions building empathy. Yasuharu Takanashi's score, paired with Takanori Nishikawa's opening heroes, injects energy, though the OST feels repetitive, reusing cues from earlier episodes. The Old Country Bumpkin is outraged at villains evokes empathy, hope, and mild frustration. Miui's plight, particularly her reluctant trust in Beryl, is heartrending, a moment some fans called touching. Beryl's unwavering justice stirs admiration, though the rushed fight dampens excitement. The episode prompts reflection on mentorship's power to heal and society's role in protecting the vulnerable, aligning with the series' grounded ethos. It leaves a warm impression, though its brevity tempers its depth. I also anticipate Miui's growth, and the employer's reveal will drive future episodes. The emotional resonance is strong but could hit harder with better pacing. Episode 5 of From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman is a heartfelt, if flawed, chapter that shines through Beryl and Miui's dynamic and its earnest themes. Its strengths lie in Osaka and Nakata's performances, the focus on justice, and the setup for Miui's arc, bolstered by a growing fanbase on X and CBR's viewership data. However, uneven pacing, lackluster animation, and cliched villain dialogue, echoing IMDb's critiques, hinder its potential. I didn't like the rushed climax, and I think tighter visuals and writing could sharpen the impact. The episode achieves its goal of deepening Beryl's role and introducing Miui, making it a successful, relatable addition to the Ball Train arc. I'm optimistic about the series, expecting Miui's training and the conspiracies unraveling to elevate the narrative. For fantasy fans seeking heart over flash, this is a solid, promising step.